Eli sat alone on the rooftop of his building, his legs crossed, a cold cup of tea resting beside him. The stars above twinkled quietly. The city below buzzed with life, but none of it touched him. His best friend Maya had moved to Mars Colony 6 months ago, and ever since then, everything felt quiet. They used to talk every day, laugh over silly videos, share dreams of exploring the stars together. But now, the distance between Earth and Mars wasn't just physical, it was emotional too. He still remembered the last day she was on Earth. She had hugged him tight at the launch pad, smiled with eyes full of excitement, and promised to stay in touch. "It's just a few million kilometers," she joked. "You'll barely notice I'm gone," but he noticed. Every day, Eli tried messaging her at first, but Mars Colony had long communication delays. Sometimes it took hours, sometimes days, then shorter, then shorter, then shorter, then it stopped at. First, he told himself she was busy, training, settling in. Then came the doubt. Did she forget me? Did she move on? Am I the only one still holding on? He looked up again. Somewhere in that sky, on that red planet, she was out there, breathing, walking, laughing hopefully. But without him, he missed her voice. The way she always found a new way to cheer him up. The way they dreamed of building ships together. Joining the Starfleet, she believed in him more than anyone. And now, he couldn't even hear her say his name. Eli's shoulders slumped. He felt like a leaf drifting away from its tree, slowly fading from her life. He thought about recording a message. But what would he say? "Hi, Maya. I miss you. I feel like I'm disappearing in your world. Please don't forget me." No, that sounded weak. And Eli didn't want to sound weak. He just wanted to feel close again. That's when something shifted in his heart. A small spark. He stood up slowly. If Maya believed in chasing dreams, maybe he could believe in something too. Maybe instead of waiting for her to come back, he could move forward towards her. Not just for her, but for himself. He went back. Inside his room, and opened the old folder on his computer. Their folder. Project Hope, they called it. A blueprint for a small, long-range personal drone they had started designing together before she left. It was half-finished. The idea was to send a real-time message capsule beyond delay limits. It wasn't perfect. It had holes, gaps, but it was something, and suddenly he wanted to finish it. The next few weeks were different. Eli still missed Maya deeply. The ache didn't vanish. But now, every time he missed her, he poured his heart into the project. He fixed circuit designs, tweaked antenna calculations, tested voice modules. He recorded a new message. "Hey Maya, I hope you're still building things like you always dreamed. I'm building something too. It's small, but it carries my voice and a little piece of our friendship. I miss you, but I haven't given up. I hope this finds you." He attached the audio chip into the drone and placed a small paper star inside a reminder of the origami stars she used to fold and leave in his notebooks. The drone launched quietly from Earth. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't fast, but it was hopeful, and hope travels farther than light sometimes. Days passed. Then a week. Then, one morning, Eli woke to a soft chime on his console. It was a video feed. The connection was blurry, filled with static. But her face appeared, Maya, eyes wide, smiling, tears on her cheeks. "You built it," she whispered. "You finished our dream?" Eli blinked. "You got it?" She nodded. "I never forgot you, Eli. I was just scared that maybe I'd changed too much. But hearing your voice again reminded me who I really am." They sat in silence for a moment, connected not by perfect signals, but by something stronger belief. Friendship, humanity's heart. The galaxy may be vast. Planets may pull people apart. But as long as there's one person willing to try, to hope, to build a bridge across the stars, humanity never really loses anything. Kira stood by the window of the small space station library, staring out into the stars. Her hands held an old photo, one that was worn at the edges. It showed 2 girls laughing, arms around each other, sitting under a tree on Earth. The other girl was Liana, her childhood friend, and the one person who made Kira feel seen. But that was before Liana moved to Titan Base. At first, they messaged every day. Even with time delays, they sent voice notes, jokes, little pieces of their lives. But as months passed, things changed. Liana's replies came slower, shorter, then they stopped altogether. Kira didn't understand why. She had tried everything: texts, calls, even a few silly poems. But silence was all she got. She felt alone now, not just physically, floating in the cold emptiness of this orbiting station, but deep inside. She missed Liana's voice, her laugh, the way she used to talk about turning sadness into something beautiful. Kira sat down on a bench near the greenhouse dome. The scent of mint leaves and small tomato plants filled the air, and she closed her eyes, hoping that maybe the wind could carry her feelings across the void. "I don't get it," she whispered. "Did I do something wrong?" She reached into her pocket and pulled out a smooth stone. It had a tiny star carved into it, Liana's gift on their last day together. "So you don't forget how much you shine." Liana had said Kira hadn't forgotten, not even for a second. But it felt like Liana had. For days, Kira moved through her routines like a ghost. Her duties at the station were simple: monitor research, check plant health, file daily reports. But her heart wasn't in it. Her eyes often drifted to the comms panel, hoping for a blinking light, hoping for anything, nothing. Then one evening, as she sat beside the window again, an idea began to bloom. Not loud or clear, but soft and fragile like a new sprout. Liana once told her, "When you feel invisible, create something. Let the universe know you're still here." Kira stood up slowly. Maybe she didn't know how to talk to Liana right now. Maybe Liana was lost or busy or scared. But she could still reach her in a different way. She returned to the library and opened an old design program. It was clunky, full of errors, but it worked. She began building something: a digital book, a quiet story. One that told how two girls found a friendship so strong it echoed across space. She added drawings, notes, moments only the two of them would understand. She wrote her feelings in simple words. "I miss you. I hope you're okay. I still believe in us." Every night after her shifts, she added more. It became her comfort, her strength. She didn't know if Liana would ever see it, but it made Kira feel alive again, connected to hope. When the story was finished, she uploaded it to the public Titan message archive. It was a long shot, but if Liana ever searched her name, or even the word tree, she might find it. Weeks passed. Then, one morning, as Kira checked the greenhouse, her station alert chimed. A message had arrived. She froze. It was from Titan Base. Kira opened it slowly. Her video. The screen flickered, then came a familiar face. Liana, her eyes were red. Her voice cracked as she spoke. "I saw your story," she said. "Every word. Every drawing. I don't know what to say except I'm sorry. Thought staying quiet would hurt less than saying goodbye, but I was wrong." She held up something: Kira's carved stone. "I've kept this. Every day. I read your book 3 times. I didn't forget you, Kira. I just didn't know how to come back." Kira's eyes filled with tears. She touched the screen gently, smiling through the blur. Liana continued, "Can we start again? Maybe just one message at a time?" Kira replied instantly, "I never stopped waiting." Jonah sat alone in his small room on Europa Research Base. The walls were quiet. The hum of the station's engine was the only sound, like a never-ending whisper. He stared at the blank screen in front of him. The message box was open. The words weren't. He had written 10 different drafts that week, deleted them all. The person he wanted to talk to was Lena's older sister. She had moved to the Neptune Science Fleet 6 months ago. They used to be close. She was more than just family. She was his best friend, his guide, his light. She always believed in him, even when he didn't believe in himself. When she left, she said, "I'll always be a signal away." But the signals got slower. Fewer. And then, nothing. It had been 2 months now without a reply, not even a short note. Jonah wondered every day, had she forgotten him? Was she too busy? Or had something happened? He tried not to think of the worst. Still, every day. He sat in front of the screen, hoping, waiting, staring. He scrolled through old recordings. There was one where Lena was laughing, holding up a tiny snow globe she made for him. "This is for when you miss me. Shake it. Remember our snowball fights?" He shook the globe now. The tiny flakes danced inside, but no flakes could replace a real hug. No message history could fill the silence that had grown between them. Jonah closed the screen and walked outside to the dome garden. It was cold, but peaceful. Flowers grew here slowly, their petals colored by earth genes and space dust. He knelt by a small blue flower, his favorite. Lena planted it the day she left. She called it Memory Bloom. He whispered to it, "Do you miss her too?" Of course it didn't answer, but it made him feel better. A few days later, Jonah walked into the communication hub, still unsure. He wanted to reconnect. He missed her voice. He missed how she called him brave, even when he didn't feel that way. But how do you speak to someone who stopped answering? Then something caught his eye. On the main station board, someone had posted a story, lost messages and silent. Love. It was anonymous, but the words felt close to home. It told the tale of a sister who wanted to write back but didn't know how, who felt guilty for being silent, who believed she had broken something precious and didn't know how. To fix it, Jonah's heart raced. Could it be Lena? He read it again and again. Every word lit a tiny fire inside him. Maybe she hadn't forgotten, or maybe she was just scared like he was. That night he sat at the screen again. This time he didn't write a message. He told a story. He wrote. There was a boy who lived far from his sister. He waited each day by the stars, holding a snow globe and a promise. He missed her voice, her laugh, her light, but he never gave up. Because deep down, he knew love travels, even when words don't. He added a picture of the blue flower, did one line more. If this finds you, I still believe in us. He didn't send it privately. He posted it on the same message board. Where the anonymous story appeared, days passed. Jonah waited quietly. He still checked the screen, still talked to the flowers. But now he held something stronger than silence hope. And one morning, as sunlight reached through the domed glass, the screen blinked, a new message. From Lena, her face appeared. Her eyes were full of tears. "Jonah," she whispered. "It was me. I wrote that story. I was afraid. I thought I had ruined things by being silent, but your message, it brought me back." Jonah covered his mouth, tears falling without shame. "Read your story 3 times, she said. The flower, the snow globe, the waiting you didn't forget me. And I never stopped loving you." He typed quickly. "Then come back, or let me come to you. I just want to hear your voice." She smiled. "You're hearing it now. I promise no more silence. Sometimes, love gets quiet, distance grows, doubt creeps in. But HFY humanity's greatest gift is not strength or speed. It's never giving up on someone you love." Mila sat at her desk in the quiet corner of Luna Academy, staring at the small silver envelope in her hand. It had been almost a year since her best friend Ray left for the Kepler-9 exchange program. At first she was proud of him. He had worked hard for that chance. She had even helped him apply. But now, all she felt was the space between them. Ray used to sit right beside her during every class. He would always bring extra snacks, scribble funny notes in her books, and remind her to believe in herself. "We're a team," he always said, "no matter how far the stars take us." But ever since he left, that team felt broken. He sent a few messages in the beginning, short updates, stories about the new station, the aliens he met, the blue moons of Kepler-9, but slowly the messages stopped. The last one was 2 months ago. A quick, "I'm fine, just busy, miss you." Mila had written many replies.
Long ones.
Funny ones. Even one where she cried while typing. She never sent them. She didn't know what to say anymore. He even read them? She looked around the empty study room. Everyone else was busy with their assignments. She felt like she was the only one frozen in time. still holding on to something that might not exist anymore that night. She walked to the observatory tower, holding the silver envelope close to her chest. The envelope held the first letter. She wrote to Ray after he left. She never mailed it. Not out of anger, but fear. What if it didn't matter to him anymore? The stars above blinked gently, like quiet watchers. Mila opened the envelope and read the letter to herself in a whisper. Dear Ray, I hope your sky is beautiful. Mine feels empty without your silly jokes and loud dreams. I miss you. I don't know if you miss me, but I want you to know. Even if you're 1,000 light years away, you're still my best friend. She folded the letter again, her hands shaking, then she did something brave. She walked to the old mailbox outside the observatory in Old Metal. Tube students rarely used DAND. Dropped the letter in. It wouldn't go to Kepler 9. It wasn't connected to the interplanetary net anymore. But it felt like a step. Like hope. A week passed. Mila still felt distant but lighter. Then one afternoon, a surprise happened. A new message alert flashed on her holopad. Unknown sender. She opened it slowly. Ray's face appeared. He looked tired, but happy. Behind him were strange glowing trees and soft purple skies. Mila, he said softly, I found your letter. Her heart skipped. What? No, not really, but I imagined it. I dreamed of hearing your voice again, so I came looking. Hey. I searched the old student page, hoping you left something. I read all your poems. I even found our old shared folder. It reminded me of everything that mattered. Mila sat down, her hands shaking. Ray continued. I got lost here, not in space, but in my head. I thought I had to become someone new, someone bigger. But in doing that, I forgot the one person who helped me dream in the first place. Paused. I miss you too. Every single day. Mila felt tears run down her cheeks, but this time they were warm, not cold. I want to start again, Ray said. Even if the delay is ours, even if the stars keep us apart, I want to talk to you again. Team, remember? She nodded, even though he couldn't see her. Later that evening, Mila wrote another letter, but this time she didn't keep it. She sent it straight to Kepler 9. Dear Ray, thank you for finding your way back. I'll always be here under the same stars, ready to listen, ready to laugh. Still your teammate? Distance may stretch across galaxies. Words may pause. But HFY is about the small things, the letter never sent. The message still waiting. Courage to reach out even when you're unsure. Because hope isn't loud. It's quiet, but it never stops trying. Theo sat on the edge of his bed, holding an old music player in his hands. The plastic was scratched, and the buttons were worn down from years of use, but it still worked. Pressed play. A soft piano melody filled the room. It was slow, quiet, and filled with memories. It was the song Ava had written for him before she moved to Alpha 3's Space Conservatory. Back then, they had been more than just friends. They were partners in everything. Music, laughter, plans for the future. Ava played piano. Theo played guitar. They wrote songs together after school and dreamed about performing on Mars, or even Saturn's, someday. Then came the letter. Ava had been accepted into the most famous music school in the galaxy. Theo smiled for her that day. He hugged her tight and told her he was proud. But as the ship took her away, he felt like someone had hit the mute button on his life. They messaged at first, shared short clips, voice notes, and songs. But as her schedule filled with rehearsals and competitions, the messages slowed, then stopped. Theo didn't blame her. She was living her dream. But it didn't stop the ache in his chest. Every time he played his guitar now, something felt missing, like one half of a melody was gone. One night, he sat in the small music room at his school. The lights were dim. The walls were covered in pictures of past performances, but Theo didn't look at them. He closed his eyes and strummed his guitar gently, playing the song they wrote together, halfway through. His hand stopped. He looked down and whispered, "What's the point without her?" Then he sighed. Maybe she forgot. Maybe I should too. But as he stood up to leave, he noticed something on the old wall shelf. A dusty music recorder, still working. He walked over, turned it on, and hesitated. Then he pressed record. He spoke slowly, Ava. I don't know if you still remember this song or me, but I remember you. I miss our music. I miss us. And even if you never hear this, I just needed to say it. He played the full melody. The one they created, the one they never finished. He ended the message with a small laugh. You always said we should finish what we start. Now here it is. It's yours now. Theo uploaded the recording to the public music cloud. He didn't send it to her directly. He didn't even add her name. But deep down, he hoped maybe she'd hear it. A week passed. Then another nothing. Nothing. Then one morning, Theo's classmate ran into the room holding up a tablet. Theo, you need to see this. It was a video from the Alpha 3 Conservatory concert. Theo frowned, confused. He played it. The camera showed Ava sitting at a grand piano, in front of hundreds of people. She spoke into the mic. This next piece is a song I started with someone I care about deeply. We wrote it together on Earth, but I forgot to finish it. Until now? This version is possible because someone reminded me what music really means. She played the exact melody Theo had recorded, but this time, it had a new ending. His ending. Tears filled Theo's eyes. Ava looked up at the camera and smiled softly. Thank you, Theo. That night, a message arrived in Theo's inbox. From Ava subject. I never forgot, hey. I listened to your recording 10 times before I played it. I didn't message sooner because I felt guilty. Let go of something. Precious. But your music brought me back. Let's finish more songs. Together, no matter the distance. Theo smiled. His fingers touched the guitar beside him. Yeah, he whispered. Let's finish everything. Sometimes people drift. Dreams grow loud. Distance grows quiet. But HFY means believing that what we create from songs to memories can find their way back. Even when words are lost, a melody can reconnect hearts. And sometimes, all it takes is pressing record. Liam stood outside the observatory dome, staring at the night sky. His hands were cold, but he didn't move. Above him, stars sparkled like tiny fires, silent and far away. One of them was near Proxima Centauri, where his cousin Isla had moved last year. They used to be close, almost like siblings. She was the one who taught him how to fix old robots, who listened when he talked about feeling small, and who always reminded him, you're made of stardust. Liam, don't forget that. But ever since she left for the Proxima settlement, things had changed. At first, she sent pictures, her new lab, alien plants, the view from her space capsule. Liam replied every time. But slowly, her messages became fewer, shorter. Then one day they stopped altogether. That was 6 months ago, Liam. Didn't know why? He had written many messages since then, but never sent them. What if she didn't care anymore? What if she had outgrown him? She was exploring another planet. He was still on Earth, doing homework and fixing rusted bots. He felt small again. He walked back inside the observatory and sat by his favorite telescope. It wasn't working that night, but just being near it made him feel closer to the stars. He whispered, Are you still looking at the same sky, Isla? No one answered, of course. Later that night, Liam opened his digital notebook. There was a page called Things I Want to Say to Isla. It had dozens of little notes. I passed my exam. You would have been proud? Remember the robot we named Peanut? I fixed him again. I miss you. I still have the drawing you gave me. He stared at the screen, his fingers shaking. Then slowly he began to type a new one. Dear Isla, I don't know if this will ever reach you, but I hope it does. I miss you more than I can say. I keep wondering what I did wrong or if I wasn't enough. But I also keep hoping, because you're the one who told me that hope is stronger than gravity. I believe you. I always have. Love, Liam. Asterisk. He saved it, then paused. His finger hovered over the send button, but he closed the tab instead. He couldn't do it. Not yet. The next day, Liam walked past the campus tech lab. Something caught his eye. A student group was launching small signal balloons into space. The balloons carried lightweight message chips and floated into orbit, sending signals out for anyone to find. Liam's heart skipped. Maybe he didn't need to send her a message directly. Maybe he could just let it fly. He returned home, grabbed a tiny chip from his drawer, and copied his letter onto it. Then he drew a tiny starlight symbol, the one they used to sign all their shared notebooks, and taped it to the side. He handed the balloon to the student leader. "Can this reach Proxima?" he asked. The leader smiled. "Maybe, if the stars are kind." Liam smiled too. "Let's try." Weeks passed. No message came. But Liam didn't feel as heavy anymore. He had said what he needed. Us. Even if she never replied, the stars had heard him. Then one evening, just as he finished repairing an old drone, his communicator blinked. Incoming message. Proxima Link. He dropped the wrench. The message loaded slowly. A short video. Illa's face appeared, her smile soft and teary. "Liam," she whispered, "I got your message. You don't know how much I needed it." She looked down, then back at the camera. "I didn't stop caring. I just got lost. Things were busy. I got overwhelmed. And then I felt guilty for being silent so long. So I stayed silent. But I never stopped thinking about you." She held up a notebook, their shared symbol on the cover. "I still carry this, every day." Liam wiped a tear from his cheek. "I'm writing again," she said to you. I hope we can talk soon. Thank you for reminding me who I am." That night, Liam stood under the stars again. But this time, he didn't feel alone. The sky wasn't just full of light, it was full of possibility. Why means not giving up on love, even when silence stretches wide. It's about sending a message into space, even when you don't know who will hear it. Because hope is like starlight, travels far, and sometimes it finds its way home. Ellie sat on the roof of the small Earth outpost, wrapped in a thick blanket. The desert around her was quiet, bathed in soft silver moonlight. A cold breeze moved through the empty camp, but her heart felt colder still. She looked up at the sky. Somewhere beyond those stars, her older brother Max was floating on the lunar frontier station. He had left 8 months ago to join the first crew working on the new moon base. Before he left, they used to do everything together. Walk to the river, fix Ellie's old bike, and talk for hours about space and dreams. Max promised he would send messages. At first he did. Short ones. Voice notes. Some blurry pictures of the moon's surface. But then, nothing. For 3 months now, Ellie had waited. She checked the comms every day, sent little updates. "I passed my science test. I fixed the bike. Hey, do you still eat those weird moon bars?" But the inbox stayed empty. She kept wondering, did something happen? Did I say something wrong? Does he even remember me anymore? The ache in her chest stayed. Ellie picked up her old sketchpad and opened to a blank page. She used to draw rockets and stars. But tonight her hand didn't move. Instead, she whispered, "I miss you, Max. Why won't you answer?" She didn't cry, not tonight. She had cried enough already. Instead, she walked down to the communication center, where the machines buzzed quietly in the dark. She looked at the screen, no messages, but something inside her didn't want to give up. She started recording. "Hi, Max," she said softly. "I don't know if this will reach you. I don't know if you're busy or hurt or just quiet, but I miss you every day. I look at the stars, and I feel like I'm talking to them instead of you." She paused. "I still believe in us. You're my big brother. You said we'd always be a team, no matter how far you go. So I'm holding on to that, even when it's hard." She ended the message with a whisper. "I'll wait till I see your light again." She sent the message, closed her eyes, hoped. A week passed. Then 2. The desert wind grew warmer. But Ellie's hope flickered like a small candle in a storm. One evening, just before sunset, she climbed the roof again with her sketchpad and looked up at the sky. The moon was full, quiet, distant. She opened her sketch pad and began to draw again this time. Picture of two figures standing on the moon, holding hands, looking down at Earth. Suddenly, her communicator buzzed. Her heart jumped. She fumbled. With the buttons nearly dropping the pad, message from Mac's live feed, the screen lit up. Max appeared. His face looked older, tired, but his eyes were soft, warm. "Ellie," he said, "I heard your message. I listened to it 3 times. He paused, taking a breath. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disappear. Things got really hard here. I lost track of time. I kept thinking I'd message tomorrow. And tomorrow never came. Then I felt ashamed. And the longer I waited, the harder it felt to say anything." He looked down, then back up, his voice shaking. "But you never gave. Upon me, you kept sending messages. You waited. Even when I didn't answer. That means more than I can say." Ellie's eyes filled with tears, but she smiled. "I'm here now," Max said. "And I promise I won't go quiet again. If you still want to talk, I'll be here." She nodded quickly. "I do. I never stopped." Max grinned. "Tell me." "Everything, from the start." That night, they talked for hours. She told him about her science test, the broken bike, the lonely nights on the roof. He told her about the moonstorms, the way dust glows like silver powder, and how he kept her. Drawing in his locker, they laughed. They cried. And when the call ended, Ellie looked up at the sky again. The stars hadn't changed, but somehow they felt brighter. HFY means not letting go. It means sending messages into silence and believing someone will hear them. It means holding on to love when distance and doubt try to steal it away. Sometimes light disappears, but when it returns, it shines even brighter.